Clive.
Don't talk to me like that. The fuck you say to me, you little shit? You kiss your mother with that mouth? That's my favorite ninja clip. He gets roasted by this like little baby kid he's playing Fortnite with. He's like, the fuck you say to me, you little shit? You kiss your mother with that mouth? Why aren't you in school? It's pretty good.
Kiss your mother with that mouth.
Kiss your mother with that mouth.
Should probably turn my phone sounds off. Alright.
Where did I put my hair? You ever just like lose control of your neck?
No.
I wonder if you let go, like what way it would fall. I'm gonna try. Yeah, okay, forward. Probably because I have like this horrible posture and I'm already like tipping forward anyway. It's got the top heavy, front heavy type thing going on.
Yeah. I mean, that happens. Feel good to be back?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna ask you that again. Well, we're basically started here, so.
We're started. It's begun. It has begun.
It has begun!
Say. I would say it. Oh my god. It has been 500 years since we've done this.
There's Coltrane.
Coltrane!
It is here. Coltrane's here. Capo's here. Welcome, guys.
Welcome.
Strangely, OBS says we have 0 viewers, yet we have people talking in chat, so it doesn't make any sense.
You know what? OBS can get OB fucked in the asshole.
Tell him, Steve Dave.
I got all nervous when Coltrane was watching me. When we were hanging out, he was like,
It's true.
you know, looking at me like a normal human being, and I'm just like, like that.
Just like that?
Yeah. Are you just gonna let me keep doing that, or?
I was finishing typing something.
Oh.
And I'm on push to talk with you, so I couldn't push the talk to respond to you at the moment.
Rude.
What's up, Brad? What's up, Sir Curtin? Aliandros is here.
Oh, everybody's here at the party.
Hey, guys.
It's here.
Alright, so we're back. It's
Yes.
episode 72.
Wait. Can I just do something?
Please do.
Oh my god, we're back again. I've always wanted to do that, but I've never gone anywhere. But this time I have, so now it's like, you know. Oh my god, we're back again.
Yes.
Gonna bring the flavor, show you how. Got a question for you, better answer now.
What is it?
I'm
ready to answer. I can't answer now if you don't ask the question.
I don't remember the lyrics. Wait. Oh, am I sexual? And then everybody's like, oh my god, ew. Because you're like a little kid and it's like Backstreet Boys.
It's like 1995.
Something like that. I just remember being like really little and jumping on somebody's bed after swimming, listening to that song. It's a good memory, actually.
I love those like really specific memories like that.
Yeah. Oh, I've got something in my eye. Oh god.
Okay, so speaking of memories. You okay?
No, I'm fine.
My audio is doubling up. 1 second.
Way to go.
Is this better? Is my audio not doubling up now?
We know Coltrane's watching on his phone. That means he's out in the woods somewhere.
Okay, I had 2 inputs for my mic. Thanks, guys.
You know, Coltrane's an audio guy. I don't know if you knew that.
I did know that. That's how I know him. All right, so speaking of memories, you went and made some good memories, hopefully good. Being on the MDI in Australia, and then going to E3. So I know we're going to talk about all that on the Lagging Balls podcast, which is coming in the next few days, guys. But you want to give us a little bit of a taste here about what you've been up to during this hiatus?
Jeez. Oh, I'm having the same issue? Oh, shit. How do I fix it? What did you do?
I did something separately because I have, here, let me try this. Okay.
Check my inputs.
No, it would be on my end.
God.
No, don't worry about that. You should be good now.
Okay.
If you guys could just verify for me. Did you hear 2 burps or 1?
Because I can only burp one at a time. As far as I know.
This appears to be good now. Thanks, Fraz. Thanks, Coltrane. Thank you guys all. So yes, I added some inputs because OBS was saying they weren't active, and it looks like they were. So I didn't need the extra ones. That's why we doubled up. Thanks, guys. So, Fist, we've been on hiatus for roughly 2 weeks.
That's a long-ass time.
Where you been?
So, I flew to San Francisco. I was there for about 20 minutes. And then I flew to Australia. It's nice. You know, it's a good flight.
So going to Australia means that you had a whole day of travel just to get there, and then a whole day of travel just to get back, right? So 2 days out of the entire Australia time was just getting there and getting back.
Yeah.
Because in essence, you flew around the entire world.
Not really.
Well, you didn't fly around it because you probably came back the same direction.
Like half, yeah, half.
You flew halfway around the world.
Just half. Just
too bad they didn't come back around the other way. You could have said all of it.
No, that would have taken longer probably, though. But I don't pretend to know that I know the science of flight, you know?
I definitely do not.
I only know the science of dad ass. I mean my own, because, you know, it's the only one that's readily available.
Fair.
Yeah. Yeah.
I bet we could get some volunteers on that if you wanted.
Hey man, anybody want to volunteer dad ass for me to
press
on?
Press 1 in chat if you want to volunteer that dad ass. Okay, go on.
Yeah.
Please go on.
I'll take all this very personally. So anyway, flew there. It was nice. The flight was good. They had vegan food for me, which was nice.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know. It was all things considered, it was a great 15-hour flight. I slept a lot of the time. I watched the Jumanji movie with Jack Black, and it was
how was it?
It was actually really nice. I liked it. It was good. It was good.
I was ready to shit on that, and then I saw the trailer and I was like, oh, that actually looks okay.
Yeah, I know. Like Jack Black playing a teenage girl is like, I knew it would be funny, but like he didn't go like full Jack Black, you know? He just like he played it, you know? He did it right. Like some of that like classic Jack Black was coming out a little bit, but he didn't overdo it. I liked it. It was good shit.
That's awesome.
What else? Yeah, so when I got there, I really wanted to sleep, but Zorbix said, no, don't do it. So I didn't, you know, because like, what do I know? I've never really been jet lagged before, yeah. Because I was in bed, I was like pulling the covers up, and I'm like discording with everybody, and I'm like, I'm gonna have a nap, and he's like, no, and I'm like, okay, and yeah, the first couple days we didn't have to like do any work, just because obviously we needed to, like, first day was like recuperate from the flight, and then the second day was you know, get used to the time zone so you're not dead.
That's good.
And I spent most of my time hanging out with the casters, and I knew we know Jack, like he's been on LB before, but I didn't really know any of the others, but they took me in like immediately. I've never been, you know, when you like go and do something, like it's like a work retreat or it's brownies or I don't know, whatever adults do, like when you go and like work with other people, sometimes it's like awkward because it's like you're supposed to be there because you're working there, but like it's not like camp where you like go and make friends, you know? It's like this, everybody's here because they're doing a job.
Yeah.
And it's not necessarily required of you to be friends with that person, you know? Like you should be, because it'll make everything go easier, but you don't have to be. But like I wasn't like expecting like not the opposite of what they did or anything like that, but it was even better than I was even imagining. Like they just
That's excellent.
Yeah, they were all just so freaking nice to me. Like
and I'm gonna ask you in great detail on the podcast, so you know I'm sorry to make you repeat yourself a little bit here, but I know it's our first time back. I know everybody wants to hear at least a little something about it. Yeah, what are you wearing there? It says Sydney on it.
Oh yeah, ESL gave us Extreme Masters jerseys.
Awesome.
Which was great because then I didn't have to get like a T-shirt that said Australia on it because I just got this. So
hell yeah.
Yeah,
I think it was cool.
No, it was good shit. It was good shit. But
and then a bunch of us all saw you on the broadcasts. We stayed up crazy late on our end to catch you.
It was really nice of people to like stay up and do that shit. It was nice.
We wanted to support. It's like seeing one of our own make it because you're one of our own.
One of us.
One of us. One of us.
Well, you know, like when the Blizz podcasters, you know, infiltrate Blizz, it's a good shit, you know.
Yeah.
Like Randy before me.
Yeah.
Just infiltrate just a little bit, because you know, it's a little bit harder for us podcasters to get through. Our medium isn't that
high profile
sought after these days.
Strangely, it is. It's like it's been growing like crazy, but I guess just not the Blizzard Entertainment version.
Nowhere near like the visual media. And like when in the gaming industry, like if you're going to support a content creator, it's going to be a streamer, you know, because you know, gaming and streaming go hand in hand. So it's not necessarily in their best interest to support a podcaster, just because like the numbers will hardly ever be similar. But I don't think that I wasn't picked to do this because of like simply because of like content creation. Like I was recommended by friends. So, and just to be clear, like I had to audition and everything. Like they didn't just say like, oh, you want to go to Australia? Like, no.
I mean, that's good because no professionals on here.
Yeah. No, I got a message about it. I think March. Like, hey, you know, we're looking to fill this role. You were recommended. Would you be interested in like trying out and auditioning and, you know, going through the hiring process? You know, if we pick you. And I was like, fuck yes, of course. Holy shit. And I didn't find, so I had like 2 interviews, and I had to send in an audition tape and just like all of the footage of me interviewing people that I had, which wasn't a lot, but
your sizzle reel.
Yeah, and then I had 2 phone interviews, and then I waited a month, and I figured with nothing, and I figured like, all right, well, I tried really hard, but you know.
Thank you for your consideration.
Totally, and like even then, I was just fucking stoked on like even being considered.
Yeah.
You know? I just thought like, okay, I got considered. It's been a month. I haven't heard anything. That probably means no. You know, but that doesn't necessarily mean no going forward. It just means no for this in particular. Sure. But you know, Blizz was interested in me, so therefore, dream accomplished. You know, so I was stoked on it anyway.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but then I got a message saying that I should take some time to entertain another call from Blizzard. And they told
I guess I could make some time in my schedule.
This is fine, sure. And then I found out that I got the job. And then a couple minutes later, they're like, "Oh yeah, it's in Australia." And I was like,
"Yeah,
what?" You know, because I thought it would be in Ohio, and I was like, well, that's easy. That's like a 2-hour flight from here. That's fine. I've always wanted to go to Columbus anyway, because you know that's where all the cool people hang out for all the esports and stuff. Yeah. So.
That's awesome.
I don't know. And yeah, so it was May when I found out that I got the job, and it was the end of April, and so I had an entire month to pick out outfits, try to diet as much as possible. That didn't work out, because what I found out is that I am a stress eater.
I don't know about that. You looked great. Cinder was in chat. Coltrane and I were in chat, like chatting at each other during your first one. Like a bunch of these guys, I think Cell was in there. Like a bunch of these guys were all I know. Drew was in there. Like Fraz, I think was in there at one point. Like it was on at such an extreme time here, but I saw so many great names of people that we know and love, and I felt so loved and supported. And
so did I. I didn't have a lot of time to check the internet while I was working, but when I could, I just saw so much, like all the tweets and all the messages in Discord and all the DMs and everything. Like it made me feel 100% better about everything, and I was already feeling 100% good about everything. So it was really awesome. Nice. Like you guys really helped out. But yeah, so the month leading up to leaving, I became a stress eater. I didn't really know, like I knew what the job was, but I didn't really know what I was in for. And so when I'm kind of out of control like that, like I get really anxious. So I was having a lot of preemptive anxiety about stuff, just because
I can understand that.
Yeah, it was like when you're staring down like the biggest thing to ever happen to you ever in your whole life, the thing that you've wanted more than anything in the whole world, the thing that you've been working towards like every single day for the past 4 years. Like you're looking like at it. It's a month away, and you're like, fuck, like holy shit.
Yeah.
Oh shit. And like it was just, and I couldn't tell anybody either. So it's just like, oh shit, I'm just like sitting in my room, just like, fuck,
Yeah.
Like shit. Like I moved in like a month ago. I still haven't unpacked anything because I'm just fucking like, I was just sitting around going, oh shit, like every day. Like I'd come home from work and I'd be like, oh fuck, like fucking 3 weeks, 2 weeks, 1 week. And I had to like I had to order all the clothes that I wanted to try on because like I couldn't even like go shopping. Like I was too
Sure.
janky. I was too nervous to go shopping.
And you're still working full time leading up to it, so.
Oh yeah. And I had to tell my bosses before I told everyone. I got permission to tell them, but I had to tell them before I told anybody else.
Yeah, you gotta get the time off.
Yeah. So luckily that worked out. But yeah, I just like I stopped rating. I stopped podcasting. I stopped doing everything. Like partly so I wasn't really sure what to expect, so I just like made sure to brush up on all of my MDI facts and all my dungeon facts and
your flashcards going
facts, and yeah, just like I didn't know what I would need to know. And it was the weirdest thing because like I know that I know Warcraft and the MDI, but as soon as I was faced with like working for it, I was like, I don't know anything. Oh fuck, I was like running around outside at night going, I don't know anything. Fuck, so I felt like I needed to like relearn World of Warcraft, but every time I logged in, I'd be like, oh god. Yeah, so it was just like a big stress ball who just ate and like I tried to eat healthy and I couldn't. So what I would do is I would eat microwave popcorn because that's it's not good for you, but it's inconsequential to weight gain enough. So I would sit here at the computer, just be like,
Yeah, that's a really good snack for that, though.
I tried.
Feels fulfilling to put, a bunch of it in.
Yeah, it really does feel fulfilling to put things in your mouth.
Right.
Yeah.
Minimal calories.
Yeah. But high protein. Anyway.
Okay, so we're going to go into all kinds of detail about that on the podcast, so let's move on. Unless there's anything else you want to say about Australia or the MDI part?
if I don't, I'm certainly gonna say it on the podcast, but I just want to make it clear that like everybody was the people is really what made the whole thing the best thing.
Surprise, surprise! People associated with a Blizzard thing are
know,
awesome, right? Ah, awesome.
It's just and like every Australian that I met was like giga friendly, hyper friendly, like friendly to the max. Like I kept feeling like I made friends. It was awesome.
Was there a live audience?
No, I mean some people were watching.
You know what?
But not really.
I'm sorry. I remember seeing your snaps. There was just viewing areas for the talent production, right? There was not a audience that was open to the public.
There was like a few moms and some significant others and stuff, but
yeah. But it was a LAN, right? Because a lot of people were confused about that in the Twitch chat. They were like, "Oh, this is a LAN," and they're like, "No, it's not." It's funny how argumentative people got in Twitch chat about the facts behind the event because there just wasn't a lot of info out there about what was going on with it.
Oh no, yeah, it was an actual LAN. And that's why I was there, because I got to talk to the players, which was, you know, all of the players were really freaking nice, too. Like, so nice. And it was, I don't know, Were
there any that were, like, out of sorts because they were, like, it was their first time in front of a camera kind of thing?
Oh, absolutely. Almost everybody I interviewed was scared shitless. Just terrified.
What about outside of the interview? Were any of them nervous just to have cameras on them during the LAN?
I don't think so. I don't think so. But like a lot of them kept saying that like the LAN was really tripping them up, like really making them nervous to just play, you know, and I totally get that. It's like when you start streaming for the first time and all of a sudden you're very aware of everything, like, oh, my bags are full. I hope people don't see that. Oh god. You know, it's like when the first time somebody left my stream because they found out that I was a clicker. Like I click some of my spells and they're like, oh, she's a clicker, I'm out of here. And I'm just like,
what?
Oh god, is that bad? Shit.
I always had like, you know, 1 through 7 or whatever set up, but then there were things that I would click because you'd only use them once in a while.
Exactly, yeah. I don't know. I'm too old at this point to change my style, so
yeah.
Whatever.
Also, screw trying to please people on Twitch during a game. Like, you're trying to play.
Oh yeah, you can't.
Says the non-streamer without a stream following. Maybe that's why. Okay, so after you were finished with Australia, did you have time to like go hang out? Did you get to go like sightsee or?
Not really. At one point, a bunch of us took the train to
Sorbix is screaming about clicking.
Sorbix, don't! I was just about to talk about him. So Sorbix took us to a KBBQ place in Australia.
Korean barbecue?
Yeah, I'd never been to one before. You know,
Did
they're not usually...
Did it taste all upside down than normal?
Well, I mean, everything tasted really upside down. The nice thing was that, like, since it was a Commonwealth country, a lot of the foods that I'm used to were there. And I was like, yeah, you know, like it was like, oh, I know what this is. It was nice. But I'd never been to a KBBQ before, and they kept playing BTS, and I was like, I know this song. Yeah. Korean music, 1.5 bands. I went to the Sydney Opera House with some casters and some players. It was really, really beautiful. What else?
Right on the water there. I imagine that's gorgeous. So.
Yeah, it was all of it was just so cool. And like even taking the train, even though I take the train like all of the time here in New York, it was so cool to just like take the normal train, you know, but in Australia.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I didn't have a lot of time to like go and see things, but I did spend an hour or two in a parking lot on the last day feeding birds, and it was just like the best. Like, you guys know I'm like fucking obsessed with birds.
So you're trying to attract some that you hadn't seen yet, kind of thing?
Yeah. It was
smart.
Fucking
Did you see any?
I started feeding an Australian raven, and those things are fucking huge, and they've got white eyes, and they're gorgeous. And then I started feeding some white ibises that everyone was calling bin chickens, I really like that. Like, you don't see anything like that around here, so I was completely enthralled.
Are those the ones that look like the chicken from Moana?
No.
Oh, okay.
But I thought they were. I just like one in particular. Like, if you want to see, check out my Instagram. But one got really close, like really really close, and I just like the tears were just like.
Aww.
I get excited. There's something weird about when I see a bird that's large. I get like excited in my heart. It's a weird thing. Like, I don't get it with a lot of stuff, but for some reason, if I see a large bird, I just get very excited, and it always makes me like feel kind of dorky, but also I can't help just feeling like completely.
Of course.
About large birds. I don't know.
There's nothing wrong with that. That's not a weird thing.
Okay. Yeah.
Los pollos grande bin chicken. Binge chickens because they eat out of garbage cans. Well, there you go.
That makes sense. I mean, but like, who doesn't in this economy?
Okay, so...
I mean, in New York City, in Manhattan, I see people eating out of garbage cans all of the time. All the time.
America.
And drinking. Like, they'll pull something out and they'll be like...
Listen, I gotta stop with the judgmental shit, because anybody who is in that kind of need, I don't think I can judge that. I think that's fair.
No, of course not.
So,
plus it's free.
Coming back, right? Instead of flying back to New Jersey, you flew back to the other coast, to LA, for E3.
Yes, I did.
How was the flight back? How was the experience of E3?
The flight back was awful.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, no, it wasn't. It was just awful. There were a lot of factors, but it was just, I was very glad to be off of that airplane. And then I was in LA, and I couldn't check into my room. I arrived at 6 and I couldn't check in until 1. And it was in the middle of a heat wave, and I didn't have anything to do, so I got off the plane, sat in LAX, and I was like calling this place because I wanted to know if they had an early check-in.
Right.
And nobody was answering, so I was like, great, fine, all right. So I think I will just, and I have had no sleep. I haven't slept in like 20 hours at this point.
Ugh.
So I was like, I'll just grab a lift to the place, and then I'll go and sit in the sitting room, and it'll be great. Maybe they'll be there. So on the way, like, I'm getting nervous, so I called, and somebody finally picks up, and they're like, okay, we might have something for you at 8:30. And I was like, awesome. It's 7:30 now. Monday morning, LA traffic. It'll take like an hour to get there. It'll be all great. It's groovy. It's fine. So I get there. It's almost 8:30. I'm sitting in the lobby, no AC, and I'm feeling kind of weird. And then 8:30 rolls around, so I stand up and I go up to the thing, and I'm like, hi, I called earlier. Can you give me a room, please? I'm really tired. And they're like, what do you mean? We don't have anything for you right now. And I'm like, but you said on the phone. She's like, no, we won't have anything until 1 o'clock. And I was like,
oh my God.
Okay. And she's like, do you want us to hold on to your luggage? And I'm like, so I give her my luggage. And then I'm like, well, I'm gonna go for a walk. I just like, I don't know. So I just like yeet myself over a hill, and I find myself in a park. And I was like, this is cool. It's cool. It's a nice park. I was looking at like turtles and ducks and shit.
Sleep on a park bench for a few hours, kind of thing.
I was seriously considering it. I actually was, but there was like a shanty town set up in the park already, so I didn't want to like. I was like, it's not cool. She can't just like lay there when we've got our shanty town. Like, I don't know the rules. Anyway.
Sure.
So I took myself over to a diner that had vegan food, and it was awesome. That's also where I took the train at the end of the week.
Nice.
Called Bright Spot, and it was really nice. And so I had a whole booth to myself, and I was eating and I was drinking, and it was nice because I didn't eat and drink anything on the airplane. But then I started to feel bad that I was taking up space, so I took off. And
because you were just there, like hanging out?
Yeah, I was just there because I finished eating, and I was like, well.
Was it super busy?
It was getting busy. as it was getting like later in the morning. So I got in a Lyft, and I was like, you know what? I need to go to Target. I need to pick up some stuff for the week. And it's easy to waste like 5 or 6 hours at a Target, right?
Right.
Like you can totally just walk around Target. So got in the Lyft.
Dangerous, but yes.
Yeah. So I went to the closest Target, and turns out it was a mini Target.
No.
I've never seen a mini Target.
I didn't even know those existed.
Yeah, neither did I.
How many?
So, very many. Like I think I walked around that Target like 12, 13 times. I became very intimate with that mini Target.
Like a Walgreens kind of size, like a
smaller. Yeah, it was bad. So I picked up everything I needed and then some, because Target. And walked around, and then I sat myself down at the mini Starbucks in the mini Target.
There's even a small Starbucks in there?
Yeah. And the person
What is this, a Target for ants?
For ants, yeah. The person next to me was a very inebriated drag queen who was singing at the top of her lungs. And you know what? I was just too tired. And I was just like, "Yep, you sing. I will sit here, and and I'll just maintain."
You didn't just join in?
I thought about it, but I didn't want to be rude. That's like a recurring thing for me. So
Coltrane says you were in a rough area. It was a pretty rough area, huh?
I was, but Coltrane was kind enough to brave it for me. I made him walk. Usually when people make me walk, I'm just like, fuck you. Oh shit, friendship over. But anyway, so after that, there was like an hour left, so I was like, you know what, I can't anymore. I can't do it. So I went back to the hotel and I sat in the waiting room and I waited, and then I finally got the okay to go up to a room. So I went up the flight of stairs with my giant 50-pound thing of luggage, got into the room, turned on the AC, and it's like, and I was like,
no,
oh, no. So I tried to fix it. It didn't work, and it's
you
coming
tried
up
to
on,
fix the.
I tried to fix it. It's coming up on 25 hours no sleep. It is, I can't tell you how hot it was in Fahrenheit, but in Celsius, it was around 31.
Oh my God.
Which is dangerous. And I don't like asking people to do things for me, so I turned on, like, I brought up the old YouTubes, and I was like, how to fix this model of wall unit AC. And I tried it. Like some plumber dude was like, just press this button and this button at the same time and you'll reset it. And I'm like, and like my face is getting all red because you reach that level of like hotness where it just starts to like show up in your face, and you're like your head's literally boiling, like your brain is boiling inside your head.
My God.
No?
Yes, I said yes.
Oh, okay, I didn't hear you. Anyway. So I finally called down, and some dude comes up to try and fix it. He pulls the friggin' thing out of the wall, opens it up, and tries to like, fix it. And I was like, well, I didn't think of that. Like, I could have done that. And then he's like, let's just put you in a different room. And I was like, all right. So I walked down the stairs with my 50-pound thing, and I go into the room, and I turn on the AC, and she's working.
Nice.
Oh, Lord Jesus. Yes, thank you. But shortly after that, a dude directly outside my door starts wailing on some sheet metal with a saw.
Oh my God.
And I kind of lost it at that point. I do remember tweeting about it. I took a video and I tweeted about it. And I don't often like tweet complaints. I don't like doing that. It makes me feel not good.
That's when we talked. And you were not happy.
Yeah, I was looking for outlets at that point. And then at length I was just like, you know what? I cannot stay awake any longer, and I don't care that somebody is sawing metal in half outside my door. So I just fell asleep, and I fell asleep. I was like asleep for like 5 hours, and when I woke up, I felt a lot better.
I bet.
And that's
Holy
my
shit,
triumphant return to the United States of America. Yeah.
All right, well, we'll repeat all of that and plenty more on the podcast. But
oh god,
because we didn't even really touch on E3 yet. Do you want to talk about a little bit about how E3 went?
Sure. E3 was not as good as BlizzCon.
Wow, really?
Yeah, but okay.
Biased opinion, though.
Yes, absolutely. But I went into E3 realizing this, you know, it's like I love BlizzCon, obviously. It's incomparable. Therefore, I'm trying not to compare it with this. Like, I'm gonna go in, you know, I'm gonna remain you know, non-judgmental. I'm gonna feel it out. It'll be fine. And I went in, and it's just not as good. And like everybody was saying, like, oh, E3 is like the mecca of gaming, and I'm like, whoa, you know. But it was literally like, you know, one hall was jam-packed full of stuff. It is very impressive looking. And then another hall was like mostly filled up with stuff, but not as much. And like, it was, there were like big things around. Like the Fortnite area was really impressive, and the Nintendo area was really impressive, etc. But most of the stuff that you could see and do were from like indie companies or like brands that, you know, are like accessories to video games, like chairs, clothing, drinks. Like I filled up at the G Fuel stand every day I was there. I was like, I will get some free G Fuel, and then I'll walk over to the Respawn booth and drink some Respawn as well, because Respawn stimulates your brain and G Fuel gives you anal leakage. So I was just all about that. And for the record, the orange sherbet G Fuel is quite nice, but all of the rest are absolutely deplorable.
And by deplorable, she means amazing. Everybody say welcome to our new sponsor, G Fuel.
I'm just kidding. They're all really good. And I drank way more than I should have. Blue flavor, red flavor.
Yeah, why wouldn't you, right?
Flavor. Oh, fuck yeah.
I mean, I would imagine they were sampling the shit out of that stuff because it's all their target market.
Yep. Absolutely. And like the booth that I needed to stay around most, the one that I was working with, G Fuel's on one side and Respawn was on the other side. So I was mixing that shit. I was like, I'm going to be so stimulated in my mind and my body. And I was, you know, like I was just, yeah. You know?
Just like that?
I was running around, beating my chest, just like, G Fuel!
So speaking of running around, space-wise, I've never been to the LA Convention Center. Like how big was the E3's area of the, like, okay, forget the convention center. I wouldn't have anything to compare it to anyway. How big was it in comparison to like BlizzCon?
I think it was a lot smaller. A lot.
Really?
Smaller. Okay, so it was like,
all of E3 was smaller than just BlizzCon?
I think so. There was lots of outside stuff, but it was all spaced out around the Staples Center and stuff. But like,
okay, yeah.
Just imagine going into BlizzCon and like, instead of like one big hall, you know, like you walk in the door, there's like a big lobby and stuff, and then you go through the doors and it's just like this big area full of junk.
Yeah.
Awesome junk. With E3, it was like mostly hallways, and then down one hallway was like a big room full of stuff, and then down way on the other end was another big room full of stuff, and that's it. Two big rooms. It was mostly for industry folks, you know, like there's a lot of all of my friends who were in attendance were just running around working the whole time, and you know, that kind of sucked. But
lots of panels.
No, well, the panels started like before it was open to the general public, so like the piano thing happened before it was open for the public to experience. And it was cool, like, you know, some influencers were walking around, and I met some people who knew me from Twitter just by like sitting down for a couple minutes, which was really cool. I saw a lot of Blizz folks, yeah, and you know, I did get to hang out with some of my friends and stuff, but I don't know, it was not as exciting as I thought it would be, honestly.
Really?
Yeah, but I did get to play Sonic 2 on a giant controller.
Nice.
Yeah.
Like how big? Like your whole hand is one of the buttons kind of thing?
Yeah, I had to like really work it. Like it was like a dinner plate. It was really tough, but I felt that I did a good job.
You worked it?
I worked it so hard.
Congratulations.
So hard.
You know, it's hard to work it in front of other people with a line behind you.
Yo, absolutely. You know? Like I feel like they're
I missed this! I missed all the sexual innuendo, you guys.
I don't know what that was. Just letting my jimmies out.
What's up, Teki Taco?
But yeah, it was a good time. But you know what? I missed this. It was so weird being away from LB for so long, and this stream, and CTR, and just hanging out with you guys in the chat, and I just feel like I've been away for too long, and now it's time to come back.
Time to fix that.
The dick jokes,
Yep.
And the fart jokes also.
So you've been back not a week yet, and you've already been. Oh, this is what now the third show you've already been on. Yeah. Somehow our own show was not the first one that you did.
Listen.
Or one of our show properties, I should say, since the podcast is separate.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's been good to be back. I'm excited to be back.
Well, we're glad.
So speaking of dick and fart jokes, here's something to ponder. What would it be like if you could fart out of the dick in question?
That would be weird.
See, what I'm thinking is, and this is, it's coming from somebody who does not have a penis to speak of. I'm thinking, when you kind of okay, wait, this looks bad. When you inflate a balloon, but not all the way, so it you just inflate it enough that it's like it hasn't expanded the latex yet.
Yeah.
It's just full of air. Well, when the air comes out of the shaft of the balloon, it gets momentarily rigid with the air inside of it.
Yes.
Do you think that if you farted out your dick, that would happen?
Yeah, I think it'd look like a semi.
It'd be like
a semi. Yeah, Cinder's it'd be higher pitched, wouldn't it?
No, wait. How do you make a high pitched? Wait. I don't. Yeah, like that. I can't. How did you do that? I'm trying to
blow harder.
I'm trying to
blow harder.
But then it would suck because not okay. I don't know if it would smell the same or not. It would probably. Would it smell? It would.
I don't know.
But it would suck because not only for dudes would people be able to smell and hear it, but they would be able to see it because your pants would momentarily shoot up a little bit,
I feel like.
And do you think that since the it's a longer it's okay, you know how
a longer shaft than the butthole?
How woodwinds are long. Exactly. Do you think that it would make sort of more of a musical?
Maybe. I say maybe, and I say I'm not sure about that because a normal fart is coming out of something that is long. It's just inside.
Right.
Your intestines or wherever the gas is stored is longer than a penis.
Sure.
Most penises.
I mean, who knows? But I'm just saying, okay, farts only make noise because your butt cheeks are close together, right?
I don't know about that.
No,
is
it's
that the case?
Because if you fart, if you spread your cheeks manually, nobody hears anything.
Right. That's true. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So,
uncircumcised would have a flapping sound.
like a tarp in the breeze.
Nice one, Goblin.
But I'm just so I'm thinking maybe it actually wouldn't make a noise,
I don't know, because there's there's a hole.
I know there's a hole, but it's not like, because when you whittle a piece of wood into a flute, you know, like there has to be like some resistance, you know, like, you know, when you look at the top of a recorder, like it goes in, so the air like passes through it in like a weird fucked up way that I don't understand. The penis doesn't have that. It's just a hole. That's why when you like blow into a straw, it doesn't make a noise, right? I guess. So that's why I'm saying, like, would there not be any noise?
Well, but a straw has an opening that's always open. A penis does not. So it might be different because there's an opening.
Okay.
But it's not open all the time.
So it would depend on if you're what's it called? A uvula?
What? Which part?
No, that's the hole.
We're back! We're back!
What's it called? It starts with a U. Urethra, right?
Yeah.
So
I didn't know what you were talking about.
I have no idea about like the variations of urethras, but like I'm assuming that not everybody has like the same shaped one, right?
All shapes and sizes, I suppose.
Sure. So like maybe if yours is like more closed rather than like open, like you would get a noise if you farted out your dick.
This is the ultimate combination of our humor right here. It is both a dick and a fart joke.
That's like on the flight to Australia and back. This is what I was thinking about.
You had to keep yourself sane somehow.
Yeah, somehow. Sanity, you know?
Yeah, and when I need sanity, I think of whether or not I'd fart out my dick.
So, to recap. So the air, or the gas, or whatever, like, comes out the dick, and the dick is momentarily, like, inflated a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, it's not air, so, it, you know.
And that sounds like one of those Australian birds.
Yeah, and it hits the pants on the way up, and then it goes down.
This is where the term Flappy Bird really came from.
Sure, exactly. So everybody knows that you just farted out your dick. Maybe it made a noise. I don't know. That's something we're gonna have to figure out. I don't know.
No, I think you had it right.
Well, I'm just thinking, like, if the urethra, not the uvula, if the urethra had like a musical shape to it, it might sound like a beautiful woodwind, not unlike some kind of wooden recorder or a pan flute with only one pan.
A pan flute? More like a pen flute.
Yeah. Oh.
Get it?
Oh. Coltrane, you don't pretend like you never thought about this. But anyway, so
you keep hanging out with this long enough, Coltrane, you'll be all set.
What was I saying? Yeah, so, might make a noise, and it would probably still smell, because, like, it's still coming from the intestines, which is where the smell comes from in the first place, right?
I guess.
Yeah, that's something.
I don't know my down under anatomy.
Well, I've been down under, and let me tell you. But yeah, so I was just thinking about that, I don't know.
Yes, the way the penis curves would definitely change the sound, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
And what state it's in. Like if it's hanging loose and only has to flitter upward during the action, that's one thing. Versus if it's like crushed into your undies or whatever and like swished up.
Right. And like I just thought of like what if you were like peeing and then you like, you know, and it just like shot out like an elephant, you know? Yeah. It would be awful for you guys. Yeah, exactly. Like, I don't know how you would deal with that. I really don't.
But higher pitched, I guess.
Yeah.
Like a baby elephant.
Yeah. So I don't know. It would suck. It would suck for you guys.
Yeah, and back to one of the early comments, I feel like it would really hurt too.
I can't speak to that, I guess. But I'm just thinking, like, as humans, we have the ability to sort of like learn from evidence, you know, like try to like put pieces together with certain evidence. Like, you know, we're able to see patterns with our brains, you know, like we're able to figure out things like that. So I'm thinking if the sound of the dick fart changed depending on like the length and the shape, perhaps eventually humankind would be able to identify the sound, like the shape and size of the penis in question based on the sound of the fart.
Like maybe that would be the mating call or whatever.
Yeah.
Like,
so like chicks would be like, oh, I just heard that guy dick fart, and that dick is not the kind that I'm interested in.
Because like that's how the back to birds again, right? Like that's how birds do it, right? They have a call, and that call is either appealing for mating season or not.
Yeah.
The Trans-Siberian Penis Orchestra. We were talking about the different lengths. And Coltrane's like a slide whistle. Because you got to consider, if you're making noise out of that, it's definitely somebody's definitely going to like hone that skill and start making music with it, right? Yeah, like Zormix. Oh shit, that was a C sharp. Damn.
Damn, I'm all about that C sharp.
Yeah, but of course, my favorite note to play would be D.
Oh. Not P? That's not a note. that's not a note known in music, but it might be.
The Ocarina of Time theme.
Yeah, this is something that I need to think about more. I need to think of like what society would be like if that was a factor, you know? Like farts already like really affect society at large.
Yeah, but you hold farts in. They're like not acceptable to do.
But could you hold it in?
Are we adding that as a part of this situation where like at any given time, like so you're walking to work down a Manhattan street, and at any given time anybody walking past you is just gonna have like this whoop in their pants?
Whoop. Just in the pants.
So they can't control it. Is what we're adding to the idea here.
Well, that's another thing. It's just like, would there be like underpants created for, you know, with like a strap or something?
A strap for what?
To keep your dick down so you don't fart it up.
So for better hold. Got it. Okay.
Right.
Cinder says it's not age, sex, location. It'd be age, sex, location, dick note.
Dick note.
What tone you got in them pants, boy?
Oh yeah. But yeah, and so like, you know, like underpants might be different. I don't know. Like, would it be such a social faux pas? Like, I feel like butts get a bad rap.
If you couldn't control it, I don't think it'd be as much a social faux pas. But
well, that's it. It's just like, well, that was my next question. Like, do you think that you would be able to like hold it in the dick, like if it was there? And then my next question is, you know, when like a clown blows up one of those skinny balloons,
yeah,
and there's like a bunch of like little like air bubble pockets,
yeah,
and make like a dog's tail, you know?
Yeah.
Would it look like that?
Like, could you do like balloon art with it? You mean?
Yeah, but it would look awful. Like it would just like there'd be like these like air pockets, and they'd look all.
It'd be like doing it at kids' parties.
Yeah, like a python eating, you know, got, like a lumpy body. Like again, I don't have a penis, so I'm just like I have no.
Hey, look, I have a penis and I still don't get it.
I'm just saying. So like I don't know, dick farts, the final frontier. These are the voyages of the Starship Dick Prize. I don't know.
Techie's got a good question. What if you have a condom on and farted?
I feel like that would be dangerous, would it not?
I feel like it would. You want to be creating air pockets in there randomly.
Yeah, that would be bad. So that would be another thing that you'd have to worry. It's like, hey, don't eat Taco Bell before we get down because you might fart the condom off. And then we'll create some sort of fart baby.
And then they'd know that it happened too, because they'd hear like that D flat.
Yeah. And then like children would be conceived because of farts.
Hey, you little squirt.
Yes, Sorbex, that's
definitely good advice.
Never ever.
But see,
ever.
That's
Taco Bell before getting down.
So that's why I feel like in this scenario it would have to be controllable. like a fart now, where most of the time you can control whether you're gonna fart or not. Right. I feel like the instances where one sneaks out on you without your permission are extremely rare. So I imagine this would be the same.
Yeah.
And you'd have to have control over them for people to make art or music out of them.
True. I mean, not all art and music.
Not that a lot of people are making any art or music out of farts, I hope.
Hey, you don't know.
I said I hope.
Oh.
Because I hope.
I don't know. That's like a world that I want to live in. You know?
This is
got, like the armpit farts. And the butt farts. But no dick farts, you know? Like,
yeah.
And like even women, you know, like sometimes see, the weird thing is like I always get tripped up talking about lady bits, but not dude bits, and I don't know why. You know? Because
you have lady bits?
I guess. But like sometimes when you get like the regular kind of farts, they roll up all into a different area.
Okay.
Yeah, sometimes that happens. That's a very weird sensation.
Is that where the term queef comes from?
No.
Because that's not the same thing, right?
That's a different thing, yeah. I don't actually know what that is called in particular, but it does happen sometimes. It is very strange. And also, like, if you're underwater and also wearing, like, a one-piece bathing suit, it goes up your back and out the top. And it's like, that's a real actual thing that happens. And I've seen it. I've seen people
Good night, Techie.
Good night, Techie.
You, like, saw it coming up somebody's back?
Many a time. Many a time. It's a weird thing. But yeah, but chicks, like, queefing is something that you can do on purpose if you practice enough.
Really?
Yes, and I that's another thing that I've seen many a time growing up with the friends that I had. I never learned how to do it myself, but you can definitely learn how to do that. So you can do it on purpose, and it's not like a fart; it's like air sucked in.
Sure.
To you, yeah. So I'm thinking, like, maybe out there somewhere, some dude has figured out how to suck air into his, you know, uvula or whatever, and shoot it back out again.
It's not uvula.
Or
remember, it's not uvula.
Like, urethra. Or somebody like blows into it like a trumpet, you know, blows up air into it, and then dude could shoot it out, and like he could shoot it out underwater to make bubbles. Do you think
which, like, I don't know, so like if a dude was wearing swim trunks like you normally would be if you're going swimming, I don't know how very different it would be than a normal fart, except it would just come out of the front. Well, except that we're talking about how, like, there's the slight inflation, right? Like the...
Right.
So there'd be more motion.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. So I don't know. Like, there's a lot of variables. And, you know, like, this world is vast. It's large. There's lots of stuff going on. I don't know if there's a dude out there who gets his dick blown in and then shoots it out underwater to make bubbles.
You know, that might be a thing. Yeah, smaller bubbles.
Yeah, it could happen. Or one big bubble. Or
higher pitched bubbles.
Or not only water, but soap. Soapy water. Then dude blows out like soap bubbles into the air for children to catch. You know? Or maybe not at all children. Not children.
Except every time they pop, they stink.
Well, I'm just saying, like, in the world where you could dick fart, that could be an option. But in our world where that I don't think that's possible, what if you could shoot air into your own dick, or somebody gives you like the kiss of life or whatever, and then like resuscitates your dick with some air and soapy water, and then you blow a bubble with your dick.
That's a whole different type of first aid.
I'm just spitballing here. I'm just dick bubbling.
Is that our new term for
I'm
just
like dick bubbling? Yeah.
Instead of spitballing, it's dick bubbling.
Yeah.
I like it. That's an LB original right there.
Yes, it is.
You have never heard that before, ladies and gentlemen.
You're
You probably
welcome.
never will again.
You're welcome.
Okay, well, we're at about the hour mark. Welcome back, Fist. I love that your strange trip led you down this very strange path so that we could celebrate it here.
Me too. It was a good couple weeks with some great people. I met some amazing, fantastic, wonderful people who gave me the best opportunity I've ever had, and I had a freaking blast. And, you know, I wouldn't have left the LB community and the show and this for anything less. But I'm back now.
I'm so glad.
And we can dick bubble all we want.
Nice job.
Thank you.
I'm down for more dick bubbling. Ladies and gentlemen, chat, thank you so very much for coming. Thank you for being here to help celebrate Fist's grand return. And Fist, who we're going to throw it to here? We got to...
Oh, Jesus.
We gotta go invade somebody here.
Who we got? Who we looking at here? Oh, shit. I see Joe Mag is singing with Twitch Sings.
Okay. And Zin is on. Blake 2.
Oh, shit. Alright, start there. Did you get that?
Got it.
Got it. Alright. Yeah. We should go in there and see how he's doing. But yeah, thank you guys.
Okay, raid has been initiated. Thanks, guys, so much.
Thank you guys so much. LB will be coming out in a couple days with more Down Under adventures, as usual.
Okay, when you get there to Joe Mag's channel, make sure you say Dick Bubble.
Dick Bubble.
We'll see you over there. And thanks again, guys. Bye.
Guys. Thank you. Is he okay?
I don't know. I have an ad, I can't tell.